Mm. Hey everybody, welcome to Lord Saunders Smokehouse. I am Lord Saunders, and today we're gonna smoke a pork belly, but we're gonna do it in the style of a Central Texas brisket. So let's get into it. All right, so we have a full pork belly here. This one is 8.97 pounds, and obviously that is a ton of pork belly, which is fine. We're gonna open it up and then we're gonna divide it into 3. All right, now this pork belly is obviously huge. It's 9 pounds, that's a ton of pork belly, which, I mean, is there ever a bad time to have this much pork belly? No, this is awesome. But we are not gonna use the whole thing for the brisket style pork belly. So what we're gonna do is I'm actually gonna cut this into thirds, and I'm gonna use the center section for the brisket style pork belly. So just gonna do a quick cut, and what I'll do with the other side, the other thirds are, I'm going to do some pork belly burnt ends with those, because that is another thing you simply cannot have enough of. So for this one, this is very easy, okay? It takes not a lot of effort, not even a lot of time really, comparatively to like a brisket. This is only gonna set you back probably, 5-ish hours or so, depending on the day and the smoker and the time, etc. But let's get this going here. So those are gonna be some great burn ends. All right, so we're left here with just a very simple center cut of meat, right? We're gonna make this is your bacon. This is where bacon comes from. It's this. That's why it looks so familiar. If you look here, looks like you would strip that up right into bacon, right? All right, so again, this is very easy. We're gonna do our usual pork rub. Now, when you do a pork belly, this is a great opportunity to try a lot of cool flavors. The pork can handle a lot of really bold flavors. So, if you wanna try it, put some heat into it, if you wanna put some sweet into it, all that good stuff. For today, for this example, it's gonna be very simple. All right, so we're gonna do a little bit of our olive oil binder just to help all the ingredients stick. I'm gonna do a 60-40 mix of salt and pepper. This is kosher salt and 16 mesh black ground pepper. The Texas mix is actually 50-50, and I do like that, but I've found that a lot of people really prefer that extra salt. They don't really know why they do, but it's the salt. Salt is what makes everything better. So 60-40 mix of the salt and pepper, and then I'm gonna use my Traeger pork and poultry rub, which is the apple and honey. Again, I'm not sponsored, it's just one that I like, and it always tends to be the favorite whenever I A/B it against something else. So that's what we're doing today. So we're gonna start with our fat side. Now we are cooking these on, today we're gonna do this on the Pit Boss. So because that heat is coming from underneath, we are going to put this fat side down as we cook it, because we wanna protect the meat and render the fat. So nice and easy rub. Don't forget your sides. Now, one thing I like about pork is it is a very forgiving meat, especially when you're first getting started. You can really, doing a pork butt, if you get an offset smoker, your first one, just do a pork butt. It can take the heat, it's very forgiving, it doesn't take a million years, it's very good, and you get a lot of really good instant results. Now, like the beef rub, this pork rub it looks very powdery, but in reality, I have never had it prevent the smoke from getting into the meat. I've always gotten great smoke rings, and I've gotten a lot of great, just results, great tasting results from this. So I am not afraid to use it, but there are some out there that are pretty powdery, and they'll block the smoke from getting in there. So you want to use as much big grains as you possibly can. Again, a generous portion here, and another generous portion here. All right, now that we're done here, super easy, not a lot of work. We're gonna get it on the Pit Boss. We've got it rolling at about 250. We'll put it on one of our upper shelves, and we'll put the fat side down, and then we'll let it ride for about 3 or 4 hours and see if how we are, if we need to spray, that kind of stuff. So let's get it on the smoker. All right, I got the pit rolling at 250. We're gonna go ahead and open her up, put her on the shelf, close it down. Now on the Pit Bosses specifically, it's hotter towards the back of the box than the front. So with a piece like this, I'm just gonna put it I'm just gonna kind of bias it towards the front of the smoker, leaving a little bit more room in the back. That way it just kind of gets a little bit more of an even cook. It's not so aggressive. Sometimes this box can get really hot and it feels like the heat just kind of compounds itself. So you gotta watch it a little bit, but it's fine. So more towards the front of the box. So let's close her down. And we'll see in about 4 hours. All right, it's been about 4 hours. So we're gonna open this guy up, see what's going on, and we're gonna see how the pork belly is looking. Let's take a look. Look at that. Nice. Ooh, perfect. All right, this guy's all the way, it's so tender. See if I'll do it this way so you can see. This one cooked all the way through. Looks like we're basically done. This is at 206. That fat is just rendered perfectly. Ready to go, we don't have to wrap. So, we'll take it off the smoker, get it inside, and let it rest. About 30 minutes or so. All right, so this thing is tender. You can see how just like fall apart this is. The fat is incredibly well rendered. So since we're gonna let it rest for about 30 minutes, I am gonna do a wrap. I'm gonna let it cool till about 185, and then I'm going to put it into the warming smoker at about 170. So we'll do that for about 30 minutes. The pork belly doesn't need a long time to rest, so we're gonna do just 30 minutes, then we'll slice in and enjoy. So, quick wrap. That side up. That side down. That side up. That side down, that side up, that side down. All right, so now I'm gonna let it rest. I'm gonna let it cool down just a little bit. We'll let it rest for 30 minutes in the 170 smoker, and then we'll slice and enjoy. It's gonna be great. All right, so we let it rest for 30 minutes. That's all we needed for this guy. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and cut into this guy. We'll cut into the thick side first. Oh man, look at that. I'm cutting the short way, you can cut it either way, but look at that. It's tender. It's just got, let me try the pull test. With no effort, just comes right apart. This thing is done. So it's very important in barbecue to make sure that it's not poisoned. I've said this before, somebody has to test it to make sure that it's not poisoned. I will be that victim. I will be the martyr and the sacrificial lamb. So let's try it out. Man. It's weird because it kind of like develops in different layers. You get like the tenderness and the rendered fat at the same time as you get the bark, and then that smoky, salty pork comes in, and so you just get this like really interesting experience that is absolutely delicious. So since we did that, why don't we try some burnt ends here and go for the end pieces. So we're gonna get a lot of that bark on there. I mean, you can see like there's just so much juice in here. And again. It's so tender, but there's still some like grab to it, which is nice because then you have like a nice structural bite, as nerdy as that sounds. So the best thing you can do with this is either A, enjoy it as it is, B, put it on a sandwich. This makes for a great pork belly, lettuce and tomato sandwich. I would just eat it as it is. Also, I found that a lot of really rich barbecue like pork and beef goes really well with pickles. So if you had a sandwich and you wanted to do this with pickles, it's incredible. And here in Texas, we have a store that makes these hot pickles, and they're really, really delicious. Not super spicy, but very good. So I will do one more cut. Let's do one the long way so you can get a little bit more of this burnt end feel. Look at this guy. Nice and thin, structural, nice smoke ring on the bottom. Now, sometimes you have to wrap these in foil at the very end, and that's fine to finish it. Ours actually ended up right at the perfect temperature and tenderness. Look at that. I mean, there's nothing. Ours ended up perfectly. So if you get to the 4-hour mark and you're not satisfied with your pork, or it's not rendered all the way, that's fine. Let it go until you need it to be done. Or if you're at the 4-hour mark, you've got some good fat render, but it's kind of still low in the temperature, wrap it in foil, put it back on, monitor it for 30 minutes. Super nice, super easy. This is one of the easiest cuts. Like I said in the beginning, was like pork is a very forgiving meat, so you can really you can really add a lot of seasoning. You can you can cook the crap out of it without it like over drying. You gotta keep an eye on it. But it's just a very versatile meat. And then when you come out, you get this just beautiful and tender meat that just, I mean, it excites the taste buds. So I look forward to hearing about yours. How did yours come out? Did you do anything differently? What smoker did you use? What rub did you use? All this stuff that makes the barbecue world go round, we all did that. Today's recipe was very simple, but this is a perfect medium to try out different flavors, sweet, hot, anything you want, spicy, you can do it all with the pork. It's just it's made for that. So good luck, let me know how yours goes, and thanks for watching.